welcome fairies. Today's broadcast is very special. We are rescuing flowers before the rains arrive. The weather wizards have been forecasting a good dosage of rain in the next 24 hours, so we have a lot of flowers to rescue. We are going to be turning these flowers into bouquets and spreading them out to earthlings here and there, putting little pops of bright color on their doorstep. So join me as I create some works of art with flowers from my world. Let's get started. Here are the flowers we're going to be working with. We have some roses. These are pink knockout roses. There are some California lilacs. We have autumn joy sedum. And for foliage, we have some ferns, spirea bush flowers, both open and closed blossoms. We have allium seed pods, some Shasta daisies that are gone wild, definitely in need of a rescue. There is some oregano here. And in the middle, we have white Mayland roses and some sweet williams. There is also some nine bark in the mix. So I think we're gonna get started. I'm going to start off in the shade and we may move into the sunlight or another zone as the sun moves throughout the day here. So let's see what we're gonna come up with. What the heck? I'm the only person watching. How is BC life for you today? BC life in the world of fairies is lovely. We are rescuing flowers before the rains hit. The weather wizards have forecasted rain in the next 24 hours. So we have a lot of flowers to rescue. The flower world is wild with flowers right now. Thank you, Grandma Sandy. Before we get started with the bouquet making, I'm going to show you the little vessels that we'll be transporting these flowers in and the little messages from the world of fairies. So we're going to travel a little further over, right to this little table, and there's always a few messages to be had from the world of fairies that will be the voice of the flower fairy when the person finds these flowers on their doorstep. So we have one right over here. We've got a couple of the vases and we're going to get started on the bouquets. I'm going to set you guys up on the tripod and see how this goes. This is not my normal bouquet filming location, but it's a little too sunny right now. So we're gonna do it in the shade for now. We don't want the flowers to wilt prematurely. Let's see how we can do this. So I'm going to start with this one. Mason jars are awesome bouquet vessels. You can recycle them, take off the labels, and create beautiful bouquets that will last for many moons. I must say, you're one cute fairy. Well, that is quite the compliment from an earthling. Thank you very much, sir. So let's get started. We're going to start with the roses. We're going to start with the knockout roses right here. And I'm going to start with the biggest flower in the canister here. This is a snow pavement rose. It was supposed to be white, but fairy magic turned it pink. So we are going to create a bouquet with this lovely stem of snow pavement roses. It has both stems that are not open, as well as lots of blooms that are already open on this particular branch. So we're gonna start with putting that in as like our main piece in the bouquet. And then we're gonna add some large pieces of foliage. I think we're gonna go with ferns for this particular bouquet. And we are going to add a few allium seed pods as well. What is my favorite flower? My favorite flower is the rose. I adore roses. So let's see, we've got our ferns here. Sometimes when I create these works of art, sometimes I create them in the vessel and sometimes I do it with the bouquet in my hand. But it's quite a warm day today and I don't want the flowers and foliage to get dehydrated too quickly, so we're going to try to create them within the vessel and not do the fancy spinning of the bouquet that you see many florists doing on YouTube and other places. So we've got a few fern frods in here, and we have my snow pavement roses to start. Hello, Earthling Susie. Welcome to the world of flowers. We are creating bouquets before the rain comes this evening. And I'm going to add some allium seed pods to this bouquet. I think that would be kind of give it a little character, I feel like. And we need some more color here. How about, well, we might have to add some knockouts to this display actually. We've got some knockout roses here. Let's put that into the vessel. Starting to come together. Perhaps some foliage. We have a collection of things here. This unknown shrub that grows wild. I'm gonna stick some of that in here. Well, I don't know if I like that actually, maybe not. We'll put some spirea flowers into the mix. And some 9-bark. Oh, no, we don't have 9-bark. This is more of the spirea, but we will put some 9-bark into here. We have a 9-bark branch here, that nice dark foliage and flower mix, and velvety purple almost. That'll be a good color contrast in this bouquet. We're gonna add a little bit more 9-bark here. So to try to spin it around, see how it's coming together. Now, perhaps what else is missing from here? I do have daisies, but I'm not sure if daisies are really the right fit for this particular bouquet. Maybe some autumn joy sedum. I don't know if that's the right plant choice for this one. No, I don't know if I like that actually. Maybe we'll save that for a different bouquet. Perhaps more roses. Maybe it needs a few more rose stems in here. I'll put some more of the knockout roses into this mix. I think that's coming together. What else should we add? I do have some oregano that isn't blooming yet. We'll see how that looks in here. These bouquets, I feel like they have more of a wild vibe. They're not tame, they're not pristine, they're just kind of a wild, take a ride on the wild side vibe with these bouquets. I don't know. The stem is pretty long. I almost think I should cut it off and put it lower. Do you guys think I should cut the stem or leave it? It's a little too, like, it feels like it might be too long for the, it will have flowers that open on it, but I could cut it down and just stick it in. I don't know. I mean, it's not bad, but could still be a little bit better. I do have daisies. Maybe I should, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe cut it down a little bit. So we'll just take off the lower leaves here. Yeah, I think that's better. It seems like it has more symmetry now. I think I might try the daisies. I don't know if this is really a daisy type of arrangement, but maybe we'll put a few in and just see how it looks. I don't know, they do have longer stems, but I did cut them kind of short, so we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll move the camera at different angles so you can have a better look at the bouquet. Is it gonna stay? My tripod is so wonky in the wind. I might need a rock to secure this little tripod. I think we're gonna grab a rock. Doesn't want to stay level here. Okay, now let's give this a try. I wasn't sure about the daisies, but I think I like it. Kind of adds a little character to the bouquet. Definitely unique and definitely wild, but I think I like how it came together actually. I think I'm gonna call this one done. We're making several bouquets. I've got, I think, 9 or 10 vessels. So we're gonna see how the other ones turn out with different flowers. We'll put this aside for now. Going to go for a little bit of a shorter to mid-sized stem bouquet this time. Using a little bit of a smaller container for this particular bouquet. And we're going to start with a few more stems of the Snow Pavement rose. Here. This one, I actually am thinking I might use my bouquet wire for this because it's going to be a shorter stem and it's probably going to come together better with this material. So we will wrap it at the end usually. So for this, I'm going to start with this one, and we're going to try Autumn Joy Sedum with that, see how that goes. I think that's kind of a nice combination. We've got some more of the Snow Pavement stems here. We're going to add one more rose. This is Nicole right here. Thank you, Susie. Yeah, so I think we're gonna start with that for sort of the base of the bouquet. This could be a bouquet in itself, but we're gonna make it a little more elaborate, add a little more body to this bouquet. And I think I'm gonna start with just beefing it up with the rest of my sedum. I do have a ton more flowers that we could rescue, but we're gonna see how many vessels we fill up before we go on any more rescue missions before the rain starts. So first I have this. Now, I think I just need to arrange this a little bit differently, but that isn't too bad in itself. But I think we're still gonna add a little more to it. And for this one, I think we're gonna try out the Sweet Williams and see how that goes. I think that's a nice combination here with the Snow Pavement Roses, the Nicole Rose, and two colored Sweet Williams. I think that's quite a good combination that we've got going on. I don't know, I'm almost tempted to just call this one a bouquet in itself. It just seems like it's got a vibe going with this. So maybe we will, Tucker and I, good evening from across the country. Good evening, Earthling. Welcome. We are saving flowers from the rain in my world of flowers that are everywhere. Before the rain starts, the broadcast wizards have been projecting a good dosage of rain, so the flowers need saving. And I have my tie here. We're going to tie this bouquet and just put it into the container. I think we're going to call this one complete. Sometimes simple is good. The first one was wild, and I feel like this one is a little more elegant style. Oh, yes, it does take, it's an art. Everyone has their own style with bouquet making. I'm sure your style is lovely too. So, which vessel am I going to use? I was going to use this one here, but is this a good size? Let's see. I think I need a different size for this container. We'll try a different vessel. I have a little narrow one here. Let's see if that looks like a better fit for these flowers. I think it's going to work just fine. Yeah, that looks kind of cute. I think we're gonna leave it at that for this one. Call that one complete. And then we'll do another one. We're going for another long stem bouquet for the next one. And we have another mason style recycled jar. Definitely recycle your mason jars for bouquets. If you have any, pasta sauce is a typical jar these come from. Sometimes spaghetti sauce, sometimes pickles, all kinds of previously food items come from these jars, which make awesome bouquet vessels. Your flower arrangings are very pretty. Thank you for the inspiration. Yes, you're welcome, Grandma Sandy. Thank you for your kind words. So next, we are going to tackle some more knockout roses. We've got several more stems here. Those will be the main pieces in this bouquet. And I also have right here, this is actually California lilac, and I have never used this in all of my bouquet making history. Haven't quite decided how I'm going to incorporate this, which bouquet, but I would like to use some of this in at least one bouquet this evening. And I think we're going to start with adding spirea to this bouquet. Some more of these fluffy pink blooms. another stem of spirea, and these ones have both open and unopened flower blooms on them. And we need some more ferns in here. It is windy and the foliage is flying a little bit, so we have some nice fern frogs. We're going to add those kind of to the outer edges of this bouquet, just like this. Yeah, that's coming together well, actually. Sometimes I see better in the screen than in real time. Kind of gives you a different perspective on things. That's not bad. I was going to add more, but does it really need more? It's kind of nice the way it is almost. This might be finished, I think. Yeah, well, we could try the California lilac, but I think this is good the way it is. Maybe just to see what it looks like. We'll try some California lilac. I feel like this might be a bouquet in itself, the California lilac. Yeah, that doesn't vibe together. We're gonna call this one done. And this is the material I'm using. I use this for bouquets all the time. And if you're in Canada, you can buy this at the local Dollarama, and I think it's not very expensive. It's more expensive than you guys at the Dollar Tree, but it's still very cheap and cheaper than all of the garden centers and box stores. I want to say it's probably like $3 or $2.50, something like that. It's not very expensive. So let's give this a nice wrapping. We're gonna wrap this one. I don't think Dollar Tree sells this in Canada, but they may have it in the United States. I'm not sure about that. I just like to wrap them. Sometimes I do cut the ends off. Probably will, just to even them out a little bit. Hello, Howie! We are rescuing flowers from the rain. The weather gods have been forecasting more rain, so there are many flowers to be saved. So here is a bouquet, and we're going to pick a vessel. I also use these in the world of vegetables. Those lovely ties. Oh, I think this one goes nicely into this vessel. No problem there, so we will use that. Although it almost looks a little small, but for now I will leave it. I might beef it up a little bit later. Time will tell. We'll put it back and create something else. We're going to, and this time I would really like to incorporate these. Now I'm going wild with this one. I'm thinking the California lilac, maybe we should pair this with a whole collection of the Shasta daisies and go for a really wild vibe. We are absolutely in the world of flowers here. This is an absolutely wild collection of flowers we've got going on. They are in every direction here, and we're going to tame them just a little bit because they have gone absolutely bananas. Oh dear. Okay, so we have flowers here, there, and everywhere. Now, I think the main problem is the stems are a little too long. I think I'm going to have to cut the daisy stems maybe even in half because they are just absolutely crazy. Let's see. Daisies and California lilac. I'm going to start at the bottom and give them a good harsh trimming to tame these guys. And then, do we need to trim them more? We might. I think, yeah, we're going to trim them very significantly. We're going to go chop chop and get these guys really a lot shorter. This is what you call a chop and drop. The waste is being dropped. So, they're still kind of wild. Now, should I go further with the trimming? I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit more trimming. Trash the daisies. Yes, the fairy diva is trashing the daisies. You could say so. Okay, so this is the wild vibe, but we're gonna work with this now that it's a little more tame. And we're gonna add a few sprinkles of the California lilac here and there in this bouquet. Now, how do I do this in a way that is gonna vibe with the daisies? Let's see. I don't know. I'm not sure what I think of this actually. I thought they would vibe together, but I don't know if I'm getting the right vibe from this bouquet so far. Maybe I need to keep building it a little more to see what the real vibe is gonna be. The daisies are trying to look like they're not edible. Yeah, that is true. They are giving off very toxic vibes into the world of flowers. So, I think, yeah, it's coming together. Wasn't sure about this one, but it needs a little bit more, but we're getting there. We're working with it. I think, what should we do next? We have a few more daisies to tame. And, okay, adding a few more kind of works, I feel like, for this arrangement. Getting really wild here. A little more chopping. Okay, that's coming together a little bit better. If I made two bouquets out of my garden, there would be 0 flowers left. I have a tremendous amount of flowers. I probably do, and you know, I didn't quite realize that until I started cutting the flowers, and then I started to realize how many there really were. I think you're quite right about that, actually. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. Kind of wild. This definitely has wild vibes. What else should we add? There's a few more stray daisies here. Add that to the mix. I think I like that. I think we're gonna call this one done. It's kind of wild. That's all I can use to describe this one. And we're definitely gonna use the tie on this particular variety of bouquet. Whoopsies, I made a little mistake and I bent the flower. So we're just gonna chop. this material here. And tie it nice and tight. And see how this plays out in my jar vessel here. Okay, I think that'll work all right. Yeah, we'll call that one complete. On to another flower adventure. Let's see, what should we do next? I think we're going for a mid to short stem on the next bouquet. We'll choose this one, another of this variety. And this time we're back to the roses, I believe. There's a couple more stems here. I might actually have to grab a few more flowers from the landscape. We will see. And I'm going to probably be cutting this as well. Let's see, do we want to add this one this time? I don't know if I'm vibing with the bush today. Sometimes I really like these. This is some wild shrub on Vancouver Island. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes they don't vibe with the bouquet. So this is a maybe. Ooh, I almost lost the connection. That's a little frightening. But we're back. So we have 9 bark and a double pink knockout rose to start. We're going to add some spirea once again. This is a lovely flower, dries really well. I have some in my house from last season, decorated for the holidays with glitter, and it is so lovely. I also have non-glittered ones in my house, and they hold up really well. Definitely a good flower to preserve if you're in that type of something you want to preserve. It really works well. So I think we need some white or some other contrasting color here. Maybe a lime green. And we have just the flowers for that. We have some I almost called this Morden Sunset. It's a white Mayland rose. My mind went blank for a moment thinking about what it was. White Mayland stems. I think that would be kind of a nice little touch. I have to separate the white a little more though, I think, for contrast. And now we need more green. A little too much color without the green. Hello, Vagabond Sage in the Woods. Welcome to some flower saving missions. The weather wizards have been forecasting rain, and we're on a mission to save the flowers this evening. I have a little bit of a lime green fern. We're going to try that one. This is a different variety of fern than the previous ones we were using. And we have a couple stems of that, so we're going to add that to this bouquet. See how that comes together. And we have another stem here. This is a different variety of fern. We're going to try that out. I like how that's coming together. And should we add anything else? We have a little piece of 9 bark. Do we want to add that, or is it too much? Maybe it's too much. What do we think of this? No, it's not the right vibe for this particular... It's not the right vibe for this bouquet. We do have a few more bouquets to construct. I think I'm going to call this one done, actually. Just find the right size of vessel for it. I do think that some of these vessels might be a little big, but I do have some smaller ones. So we are going to tie this one again. I guess I do tie bouquets quite often. Sometimes I don't, but it looks like most of the time I do. And tie that up. And then we will cut the stems a little bit at the bottom to make them slightly more even. Chop, chop. Just like that. I think that is lovely. And we will put it in this vessel. No, not the right size. We'll find another vessel. This one right here, I believe this was a recycled condiment container. I can't remember if it was relish or what it was, but it definitely came from the kitchen. Definitely do that with your recyclables. Put them to good use, and why not make a bouquet with them? Thank you. We are on to another bouquet now. We have done, I think, 4 or 5 so far, and I will give you a summary at the end of all of the bouquets. Now, next we're going to try for this vessel again, though it may not work out. Going back to the alliums, it's definitely going to be cut, but I do want to get this into some bouquets to see how this is going to vibe. So we're going to try these guys, kind of like the centerpiece of the bouquet. We're going to cut about here. Thank you, Howie. And for this one, we are going with a popular flower. And this is Love in a Mist, Nigella Love in a Mist. Those wispy little flowers, so gorgeous. And we're going to incorporate the alliums into this bouquet. This feels like a very fairy bouquet right here. It's not done, but just the wispy, whimsical nature of these flowers. And we have some more alliums to incorporate into this bouquet. We're going to try a spirea. Not sure how this is going to look with this, but may or may not go with the vibe here. I think it might work. We might just need a little more. We have a few more of these spirea flowers to add. Yeah, I like how it's starting to come together. Nigella is lovely. It's a very whimsical flower. The bees love it. The fairies go bananas for it. So beautiful. And we have another spirea here. Coming together, I think. Now, do we want to add this, or is this the wrong vibe? Let's see. Well, I'm not sure about it, actually. I'm going to add it and might remove it. We're going to keep adding on to the bouquet and just see how it looks at the end. This is a maybe stem. And there's actually another little piece of it. Maybe I'll add the little one and see if that makes any... Well, actually, with the two together, maybe that is a vibe. We'll keep adding more flowers. Oh, thank you. Now I found a few more stray daisies. I don't know if they vibe with this one, but let's see. Maybe. I think I need to cut it to have a better look. if I have another one or two daisies, that might be a vibe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see how that comes together. Not quite finished, but I wanted to just give myself some perspective here with the height of the bouquet. Coming together definitely has the wildflower vibe going on here. Now, we have a few oregano stems. Do I want to add those? Oregano, although it may not be beautiful, it may be more of a filler. If it was blooming, it would be beautiful. But the smell is good. So that's why I would consider adding this, but I'm not sure if I like it yet. I do have some bigger stems of the oregano that is almost blooming. Let's see if that vibes. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll keep that in there. For the vibe, yeah, sure, why not? Getting a little more wild. This is lemon balm. Well, it smells good. I don't know. I mean, the leaves are slightly droopy. Do I want to add this? I'm not sure. The smell is good, though. Is it worth it? Or is it weird? It's kind of weird, I think. Maybe we will skip the lemon balm for now. These again. Should I try these? I don't think they're going to work in today's bouquets. Some days they do and some days they don't. No, I don't think it vibes with this one. We do have another fern here. Do I like the fern in here as a single specimen? Did I break it? No, I didn't. I don't mind the fern, actually. I think the fern adds to the vibe of this bouquet. Yeah, we're gonna skip this and call this one done. Maybe 2 more taller alliums. It's a good idea, but I don't have any more. I only had 4 or 5 in my whole garden. I only had one little package. So I've used them all already, unfortunately. But that is a good idea. But I think I'm going to call this one done. But I have run out of most of my inventory. However, there are more flowers to save. And there are flowers that I haven't cut at all for these bouquets. It's a perfect bouquet. It's still my favorite. Oh, well, thank you. So I think I'm going to take you guys off the tripod and we'll just go around the garden and harvest a few more flowers. And because I have quite a few more vessels I would like to fill, I don't need to fill them all, but I could. And we'll make a few more bouquets with other types of flowers, maybe some of the same too. So, which vessel should we use for this project? I think we're going with a bit of whimsical vessel. This kind of topsy-turvy, antique-looking vessel right here. And that will work for this particular one. Are going to go on a harvesting mission in a minute. I'm just tidying up my huge mess here. I had have these giant, well, they're not really giant, these vessels I put the flowers in. This is like an actual water pitcher. I'll be washing it. And this is like a dollar store vase for flowers. Best live stream ever, Lady Lisa. Cheers, fellow Earthling. I must get some sleep. Very best to everyone. Lovely flower arrangements. Take care, Howie. Food, forest, permaculture. Have a good sleep. We are going to harvest flowers, and I will bring them with me. And I can probably only carry one container at a time because we don't want to spill anything. I will flip the camera around and we'll get into the garden scene for a little bit. Well, I had been thinking about the red poppies. Now, I have used them in bouquets before. The big downside is they actually don't last that long in bouquets. So I'm kind of on the fence about the poppies, but I might do a few in a bouquet and just see. We definitely have more roses we can add. And I also have these. I haven't decided if I want to add these. These are seed pods from Leopard's Bane. Maybe, maybe not. Could add a little whimsical touch. But do we want poppies? There are foxgloves, but I'm hesitant to put foxgloves in neighborhood bouquets because people have pets. And foxgloves are toxic to animals, so I wouldn't want a pet to get into the bouquet and then something to happen. I think they're beautiful and they would be gorgeous in a bouquet, but I would be horrified if somebody's pet got into it. So, did you hear anyone of a trick with the poppies that if you actually singe the bottom of the stem, they last longer? Something. What does singe mean? Like burn? Do I need a flame to do that? I'm assuming that's what you mean, but I don't really know. I have not been playing with matches and flowers. That has not happened yet. Oh, burn. Yeah, no, I'm afraid of fire, so that's probably not going to happen, but it's an interesting technique. Let's see. I think we should do a poppy harvest. These won't last in the rain. I'm pretty sure if the rain does come, they will not be around very long. So there's a lot more stems here. I could probably pick all of these actually. And then whatever's left after the rain will be for me. Pretty much. Until the next flower harvest. And let's take this one down really low. Hope I'm not butchering them as they hit the ground here. They're kind of whimsical flowers. And I'll cut this one down. The good news is for whoever gets these bouquets, they will have a few more buds on them, so they may open at a later time. Let's see, another stem here. That one doesn't look very open. Let's do that one. Oh no, maybe it is open, but we'll do it anyways. And maybe this one here. Maybe I won't do them all, but I'll do quite a few. These are very, whoops, I destroyed one. Very Canadian-like flowers here, these poppies. And I think what we're going to do, we may get more poppies, but I'm thinking dusty millers might be fun to incorporate into some of these bouquets. They have such a lovely silver color, these dusty millers. Now, we want some good stems. How long are these stems? They don't seem that long. Let's see which bush has the best stems here. Maybe this one here has longer stems. Let's see. Okay, I have to tidy it up a little bit, but that'll work for a stem. There actually is quite a bit of preparation that goes into bouquet making. I did quite a bit before the live stream started on my roses. I remove all the thorns individually so that people aren't going to hurt themselves if they touch a thorn. The thorns are gone. I think that will be good for now. So we have silver and red. That's kind of a Canadian theme we've got going on. And now what else should we add? There are more roses. I have been thinking about these poppies. I don't have very many of them. We may or may not put some of them in. Those are my oriental poppies. There actually are a lot more daisies I should be saving, so maybe I'll add some of those too. I'll bring the container over. So, come in here. I'm going for all the ones that are closest to the ground because they're going to be the first ones that the rain destroys if the rain does come. Okay. Sometimes the stems are a little bit stubborn. And there's a little bee action. Oh, you don't see him. He's in the flower now. Come out in a minute. Okay, we've got a lot of daisies here. And they are absolutely wild, just like the other bunch we were dealing with. One more over here. Yes, Grandma Sandy, put some flower arrangements together. You could do a bouquet making video too on your channel. Why not? Okay, oh, there's my vessel. Didn't even see it in the flowers. Okay, now to do this without destroying my poppies, maybe we won't. Maybe we will put them in a separate container. And put that on the table for a minute. Grab another container. And I just had an idea when I was looking at my flowers of another flower we can incorporate that we haven't even touched in these displays. So I think we're gonna go get some of that in a minute. Okay, hello Willow. We are making wild bouquets this evening. I'll give you a quick glimpse of what we've already constructed here. This is wild bouquet making sessions. There are several, 5 or 6 that have already been constructed. And we're making a few more. This is a bouquet making event before the weather gods send us the rains. Why, thank you. So we are headed up to the vegetable garden to add a vegetable flower to the mix. I need to get my clippers back. Have to show you guys. This is just so adorable. In the world of flowers, the poppies grow wherever they like in the lawn. So cute. There are lots of them. So we are headed up to the vegetable garden. This is going to make for a very interesting bouquet with my idea, I think. We are headed for the chive flowers. Quite a few. Well, I hope I'm still here. It said disconnected or reconnecting, so hopefully it's still okay. But We've got some chives. I'm just cutting some more. There was a creature in my compost bin when the stream cut out, and I don't know what it was. I heard something moving. I have caught snakes. I have caught rats in the compost bin, and probably other creatures. I didn't really want to find out what it was, but I didn't find out. Hopefully it doesn't surprise me from the back side. Cut some more chives here. And no, I am not eating these ones. They are delicious. These are for the bouquets. And they're actually starting to dry a little bit on the stem. I have so many that I definitely haven't been keeping up with my chive flower or chive stem consumption. I would be able to cut them faster, but I'm using my hand as a tripod instead of just cutting them a little faster. How many should we use? I don't even know. I'm thinking about my kale flowers too. I have put them in bouquets before, but I'm not sure if I want to this time. Maybe we'll cut a few kale flowers and just see what the vibe is today. Maybe we'll vibe with kale and maybe we won't. Ooh, this is quite a stem I just cut. Nice and thick at the bottom. We'll see about that. Maybe a few more chives and then we'll go back to the drawing board for the bouquet. See how it all comes together. Probably going to need some foliage for this bouquet too. We might do more ferns, perhaps. Okay, so we are back at the bouquet making area. Bring the tripod back over here. Put you down. Okay, we are starting with a mid-sized to small bouquet with poppies and Dusty Miller. I'm going to try for this vessel again. And let's start with the Dusty Miller here. So, might just, I don't know, maybe just one stem, we'll see. Just tidying up the stem a little bit more. And the poppies, I really love this combination. It's kind of weird, but kind of cool actually. It's kind of a vibe in itself. It feels like postmodern art is what I feel like it feels like. Now, what do we think here? I'm thinking like a few poppies with the Dusty Miller. Gonna have to cut the stems and put the buds in another part of the bouquet. So, let's see here. Now, definitely going to need to cut this stem. This is way too long. Maybe we should put that in the front, perhaps. And cut the stem again. little buds. And another cutting, I think. This is looking rather intriguing. Definitely has some modern vibes here. Now, what else should we add? I'm kind of thinking, should we do ferns? Or is ferns weird? Should we do more Dusty Miller? We're gonna look at the ferns. The ferns are actually right beside me. I have clusters in different areas. I'm gonna cut a couple fronds and we'll see what we think of that. I could do some giant strawberry leaves, perhaps. Let's see, we've got a fern leaf here. This was in the memorial garden for Mr. Supervisor. Actually, I kind of like that. That's kind of a vibe. Maybe even a single fern. I don't know if I want one fern or 3 ferns. I kind of like the one, actually. Maybe we'll leave it like that. And we need to tie this bouquet. Oh, hello, Grandma Sandy. You're still watching. Thank you. We're getting into some different types of designs here with these poppies and the Dusty Miller. Tie it up and see which vessel would work out for this one. I think this one might be too big. Definitely too big. We're gonna find a smaller one. Uh-oh, we have a problem here. Let's see. See what I can do to fix it. Maybe no tie. Don't want this to fall right apart. Kind of did, but we'll fix it. I think this is the vessel for it, this little white one. I might have to move the flowers around. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think, though, we might want to add a couple more flowers. I do have more poppies here. Perhaps this one would be a good one. Let's see if we can add that. Or should I cut it? I might want to cut this one. Ooh, that's not bad. Not a bad vibe there. Yeah. I do have one more poppy. I should probably just add it because this is going to be the poppy bouquet. Right here. Although it is a bit tall. Probably needs cutting. See where we can stick it. The vase is actually really full, so I'm kind of going for where there's a literal space in the vase. Okay, there we go. That's gone in okay. And I do want to include the extra buds for new flowers to open, if it will fit in the arrangement. Not sure if it will. Oh, yeah, not bad. Kind of, I don't know. It's a different look with that, but I think it's okay. It's not bad. Adds a little bit of whimsy, I think. So we'll call this one done. And next, we have these. I think I need more flowers for this arrangement. We have chai kale flowers and foliage. I do want to use them, but I think we're going to harvest one more collection of roses. Will be sufficient for the evening bouquets. Although we do have daisies, we probably still want a few roses. What I've learned is almost roses more than any other flowers. So adding a few roses will just give the bouquet a little more oomph. Let's see what to add. And I don't know. Oh, I do have a vessel. I was going to say, where am I going to put them? I'll put them in here with the leftover oregano. And which roses are we going for this time? Maybe my snow pavement once again. Right here. Okay, we're going to start with the ones on the peripheral areas of this bush. They will be the first ones to drop in the rain, I think. So, get this stem. And I'm going to do this one-handed, but I'm going to try to show you. Maybe I'll put the camera down. And I will come down to your level here. How I prepare the stems, just pretty simply by removing the lower leaves. This particular rose I talked about on my hoarding plant tag stream. Ouch, 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 I was about to say it doesn't have thorns. It has thorns, but very minimal thorns. If you can see, the stem is almost bare. There are some stems you'll see that do have more thorns than others, but this particular one is pretty good actually for not having too many thorns. So we'll just take a couple stems of that, and that'll probably be enough for the final bouquet of the evening. Let's see here. Maybe this stem. Right here. This one has a little more cleanup to do on it. I'm gonna have a little bit of tidying to do a little later. But here we have another nice little stem, very whimsical, should go well with the daisies, I think. So we'll go back to the drawing board and create one more creation with this. I'm wondering about foliage though, if I need any more foliage. I think time will tell. So, back up to the tripod we go. Oh, you're welcome, Grandma Sandy. Thank you for stopping by for my little bouquet making, flower rescuing session. This is what we're done. We have completed these so far, if you're just joining in this evening. And we're probably making one more bouquet this session, possibly two, but most likely one. We've done about 6 or so already, which is plenty for the delivery. So, we need a fairly large vessel this time. I'm gonna try this one, kind of a different style. And I'm actually going to start with the daisies this time. These wildflowers are right here that need a little taming. We're gonna start with trimming the bottoms, getting them a lot shorter. Hello, Lower Michigan Adventures. Welcome to an evening of bouquets. made about 6 so far, and this one is on the wild side. These flowers are very wild, and fun fact, they are wild on Vancouver Island, for real. They're in my wildflower rock garden, but they actually do grow wild here on Vancouver Island. There is some in my neighborhood, a whole slope of these growing wild. So this is the start of the bouquet. And we are going to add some more flowers. We have chives. How this is going to look, but we're going to give it a whirl, see what the chives look like here. I've got flowers falling everywhere and some more chives. A few more of these purple chives. Now I'm thinking about this kale flower collection that I've got, and you might actually try adding that and see what it looks like. Kind of got a different vibe happening with a purple and white. Let's see, does yellow really go with this collection here? Well, I'm not sure actually. It kind of does and kind of doesn't. I don't know what I think of that. I think it might be too wild. Let's take it out for now. Put some more chives in there. And how about the roses? Let's see how that looks. We add these sort of whimsical, wild-looking roses to the display. Okay, that's coming together. And another rose here, maybe at the back. Maybe not the back. Middle? Now, I don't know. It's not bad, but I think it could still be better. Hello, Rose. I would display it. Well, maybe you're right, Susie. Maybe that is enough. I was kind of thinking of adding a few more. Possibly the roses, like the snow pavement. That might just give it a little more accent. It's not bad, though. I could leave it the way it is, actually. But a rose, another rose, we'll leave it. I like your suggestion. We're gonna go with that. I will tie this one and see how this comes together in the vessel. Let's see. I don't know if that's the right vessel. I have one more or a couple other ones I could use. I'm gonna try a more narrow top. I always look at the top in proportion to the size of the stem collection. I think that'll work out. This mason jar one looks a little bit more secure than the previous one I tried, so that is good. So I'm going to give you one little recap of all the bouquets we made this evening. Turn the camera around. Let's move out some of the stuff we didn't use first, so you can see better. These bouquets. So we have lots of accident. We have lots of different styles of bouquets here. Some of them are wacky, wild, whimsical. We have some that are kind of like modern art. I feel like this one with the poppies is kind of a modern art vibe that it has with the Dusty Miller. Then we have this more elegant style one with Sweet Williams, Autumn Joy Sedum, several different roses. Another wild and whimsical one with the little California lilac accents. And we have another rose bouquet with many knockout roses, some Autumn Joy Sedum, and some ferns. So that was my little evening bouquet making session. Thank you so much for joining in, and I have a lot of special deliveries to make. I will see you all very soon in another video. I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or night wherever you are. Bye-bye.